I'm Dane Rose, chairman of Happiness Data, and it's a project that I formed, a nonprofit that I formed, to gather and disseminate data that's useful for sustainability and human happiness. The big project right now is homelessness, dealing with homelessness globally, dealing with homelessness nationally, creating a little video on homelessness in my town, and parts of that dealing with building costs, dealing with local government. And so that's an area of well-being. There are millions of American homeless who have PTSD, who are not having a safe legal place to sleep. And the goal is to share media that helps local government and local nonprofits effect policy change to care for our homeless. So that's a good example of, there's a lot of ignorance out there. The general public doesn't generally know quite what to do, so we need a video. Now, here's how you can volunteer, and I want to give you a lot of flexibility to respond to your interest and your talent, as well as your time. So first of all, a little bit about the structure. We have several terabytes of video online in an online editor called WeVideo. Now, what's nice about this for you? You don't have to buy a program. You may have one and you can use it, but you don't have to buy a program. You don't have to download and upload terabytes of data. You can go in online and work with the existing material within a fairly straightforward editing program. Again, you can download everything, you can use your software and etc., but you don't have to. So you've got a lot of choice there. The learning curve is also not so steep, meaning if you'd like to master media and you're not wanting to do it maybe full-time professionally, learning the basics of editing and movie making in a software protocol like this is ideal. And so you have the chance to engage at the level that you're interested and to use the skills you're able to use, and you're also able to practice, because the whole platform of Happiness Data is not based on perfection. It's based on engagement and moving in the right direction. So let's go look at a couple of examples. So you may or may not have seen a whiteboard animation. They are little infomercials where you watch little cartoons moving towards this and towards that, and you see little diagrams, and sometimes there's narrative and sometimes there's music. It's called a whiteboard animation. You can learn that skill, and what you can do then is watch one of the videos, determine a moment at which a whiteboard animation would be useful for 1 second, 2 seconds, a minute, and then you create the whiteboard animation and insert the graphic. Maybe it's me talking and you insert it over, me talking, and it provides visual reality or visual variety and clarity that's not otherwise there. Similarly, with animation, that can be a lot more time consuming, but if you want to learn animation and want to contribute to a nonprofit in the process of learning, this is a great way to do it and make a difference. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than what's there. And someone else may come along at some point and improve it that much further. It's a collaborative crowdsource model. We have illustrations, static drawings that, again, you see this green screen. So, you can be listening to a talk and put up illustrations to replace the green screen. Playing with green screen technology that's built into WeVideo, or just you can do a background, you can do an illustration, etc. Now, we've also got titling and sound. You can go through and make slight adjustments to the sound, and that could be your contribution to the whole project. Titling, sound, or both. And again, practicing fonts, layout, graphics, etc. Photos in green screen, just kind of covered that. Photos that illustrate a point that are in public domain and can be used in a nonprofit documentary for educational purposes. There's a lot of media that's out there, and so you can play with that. You can take on a whole video. Could be a 5-minute video, could be a 1 to 2 hour video, and basically clip, edit, play with graphics, play with sound, play with titles, tell the story the way you think it should be told. And put the titles. You're the graphic editor, you're the designer, etc. And each of these things that you create become part of your portfolio. They also become part of anything that you do and put into the credits. That's something you can put in your resume. So you're getting real life experience, engaging at the level you'd like, building a resume, practicing and helping with nonprofit projects. You can also shoot footage. You enjoy camera, photography, etc. You can say, oh, I'd like to see, this image here, etc. And you go out and you gather that footage and you combine and integrate it. Or you don't combine and integrate it. You create footage and say, hey, I think this footage would be good. You upload it to the site. And if that footage gets used by anyone, me or any other volunteer as part of a Happiness Data project, footage created by so-and-so. You also get to practice initiative, of course, because you've got a lot of control working remotely. You can be anywhere in the world, working in your own time zone. You don't have to interact with me in a set time and in a certain period. And the way that the volunteer things work is, I don't want to be riding your ass, and so I'm not, the stuff that you do won't have a deadline. Now, that could be a disappointment for some people that need a deadline to motivate them, and you can create that for yourself. But I'm not going to, anything that you've gotten done that's relevant to a project, I will work with. Anything you're going to do, you'll do that in your time. And when you're ready, you'll submit it. And it will be useful. You can create little clips. You can also gather clips. You can go, a very useful project would be, even if you don't splice them in, would be to say, minute 1 to minute 5 on this bit of YouTube video would be really relevant to your subject. So you just clip that file and you send us the clip and say, I think this clip would go well as a backdrop to, or as a segue, or as kind of a dialogue at this moment in this video. That's useful. Finally, research. It's very difficult to remember all the exact sources and numbers for things. And so, I've read 500 books in the last some years, and so there's different data points that I am referencing that I've seen in one book or another, but I don't always get the source right. Or maybe I remember it was, just today I was talking about medium income in Marin County, and I thought it was 260,000, but it's 151,000. I just looked it up, and so that bit's off on the video. And so research, to listen to a video and look at all the facts quoted, and then to go online and do some research and say, these are the facts that seem to back up what you're saying, and these are the things that seem to be, off and it's this video that I'm talking about, that's useful research. So these are all places that you can engage. All of them, one of them, some of them, full-time, part-time, as you have time. You can just upload the work and participate in a really meaningful way. And perhaps I'll get to know you, over Skype, etc. And I want to thank you for considering this. And you can also nominate a topic of your own to do some of this. And, we'll see where to put it on the site if it relates to human well-being. That's it.